The Calcutta High Court has today heard petitions related to the Enforcement Directorate's recent raids on the premises of political consultancy firm I-PAC and the residence of its co-founder Pratik Jain. The Calcutta High Court has recorded ED's statements that nothing was seized during the I-PAC searches conducted on the 8th of January after TMC's lawyer submitted that the plea could be disposed of upon such recording. TMC clarified it was seeking only one relief: protection of its data, if any had been seized. In view of the statement, the court disposed of TMC's plea and adjourned ED's separate plea at the agency's request, noting that related issues are pending before the Supreme Court. Let's take a quick look now at the 5 core arguments presented by the ED and TMC in court today. So what were the main moot points of the hearing, of course, that transpired today? So the arguments, number one, this all being put forth by, of course, the Enforcement Directorate, was nothing was seized by the ED. This is something that has gone on record now, saying no data and nothing was seized by the Enforcement Directorate. Everything was taken away by Mamata Banerjee and her cohorts is also the argument that the counsel of the ED made in court today. The entire petition is based on arguments regarding election and not infringement of any right. I-PAC should have come here, is what they have said. The address whose premises were involved has not come to court. So, of course, clearly the person whose premises was involved, the company, the individual, that person is not before the court, is what the ED, of course, his lawyer said, and which is why the ED was trying to say that this petition was not maintainable. What was sensitive data seized? Nothing. Petition is to be rejected on ground of vice of vagueness. There is vagueness in the arguments being put forth by the TMC's counsel, is again what the Enforcement Directorate argued and said. Now let's tell you what the core arguments of the TMC were in court today. So the TMC alleged that the ED unlawfully seized confidential political and electoral data related to preparations for the 2026 West Bengal Assembly polls. That was something that was being argued by the TMC's counsel. The party told the court it had a well-founded fear that data maintained for 6 years was seized, calling the ED's conduct inappropriate and amounting to bullying of a political party. That's also something that was put forth by the Trinamool Congress's advocate. The ED raids on premises linked to I-PAC amounting to extraordinary bullying. Bullying was the argument also put forth by the TMC in court. The TMC maintaining that all political data and electoral information should be protected, citing privacy rights. It should be preserved, it should be protected, is what they argued in court. Also, the TMC contended that the seized data has no proximate causal or even remote nexus with any scheduled offence or alleged proceeds of crime under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Also putting out that the ED's action violated confidentiality of political party records and amounted to an unlawful intrusion into the functioning, the internal functioning of a political party. Also, the TMC urged the Calcutta High Court to protect the data which was seized during the searches. This is something, of course, that the ED said never happened. They claim that nothing was actually seized and there was no data in their possession. Sambhav Sharma is joining us live for more details on this story. Sambhav, take us through all that transpired today in court and what finally happened once the matter was dismissed.
Well, absolutely. You already have pointed out what exactly happened inside the courtroom, the court number 5 of the Calcutta High Court, where the Calcutta High Court has disposed of the Trinamool Congress petition seeking preservation of the alleged seizure of political data, keeping on record the Enforcement Directorate's particular statement that it did not seize anything from I-PAC or Pratik Jain on January 8th, the day when the raid took place in different places in Calcutta. And ASD SV Raju, who appeared for the Enforcement Directorate, submitted that any seizure was done by the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and not by the Enforcement Directorate. And this particular statement of the Additional Solicitor General SV Raju has been put on record by the Calcutta High Court and disposed of the TMC's petition. But as we speak, what is breaking news is the Supreme Court is going to hear this particular case, ED versus Mamata Banerjee, tomorrow as per the cause list. It's pending as per the tentative list, which
So
is
that's the
there
big
in front
breaking
of
news
me.
coming in this hour. Sambhav, as you're telling us, the matter of ED versus Mamata Banerjee has now been listed for hearing in the Supreme Court for tomorrow. The Supreme Court all set to hear this matter. Now, today, the hearing was, of course, adjourned in the Calcutta High Court, is what it was expected now. All eyes were on the Apex Court, and now the Apex Court will be hearing this matter, and they will be hearing it tomorrow, Sambhav.
Well, absolutely. I have a computer generated, one receipt here which says that tentatively the case may be likely to be listed on 15/1/2026. It's computer generated before Honorable Justice Prashant Kumar Mishra and Justice Vipul M. Pancholi. So the two-judge bench is going to hear this matter. The picture will be clear by evening when the formal cause list of the Supreme Court, when it will appear before the formal list of the Supreme Court. But as of now, as per this computer generated list, on 15th of January, the Supreme Court two-judge bench is going to hear this particular case where Enforcement Directorate is alleged Mamata Banerjee and police officials of not letting the ED raids happen in the state of West Bengal. On one hand, the ED's petition in the Supreme Court, and on the other hand, very important, Mamata Banerjee's another petition, a caveat, which was earlier filed by, Mamata Banerjee, state of West Bengal, because if the Supreme Court is going to hear Enforcement Directorate's argument, then they should also be made party, as in the TMC should also be made party to it. And after hearing both the arguments, Supreme Court could pass any orders. So a caveat by the TMC, by Mamata Banerjee government and Enforcement Directorate's petition. It's listed with the name Directorate of Enforcement versus State of West Bengal. The case detail says that it's pending for hearing 15/1/2026 before Justice Prashant Kumar Mishra and Justice Vipul M. Pancholi, the two-judge bench of the Supreme Court. And picture will be clear because this is the tentative list. Well, tentatively the case may be listed on, likely to be listed on 15th. But the exact picture will be clear by evening as to this particular bench will hear this particular case or not. But as of now, the matter is before the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court is aware of the matter, and the Supreme Court most likely will hear this particular case tomorrow as per this computer generated list of the Supreme Court. The two-judge bench of the Supreme Court most likely will hear this particular case tomorrow. And what transpired in the Calcutta High Court, you already put details of what happened in the Calcutta High Court, where the most crucial part of the hearing was of the Enforcement Directorate's statement that it did not seize anything from the I-PAC or Pratik Jain's premises on January 8th, and the Calcutta High Court disposed of the TMC's petition seeking preservation of the alleged seized political data. The court noted that the Panchnama, the Calcutta High Court had noted that Panchnama shows no seizure of I-PAC office or its director. High Court says nothing survives for consideration, and so far closes the matter. ASC SP Raju has submitted that any seizure was done. It was done by West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Now all eyes are on the Supreme Court, the top court of the country, from where I've been reporting this. I am inside the Supreme Court as we speak, and it is to be seen when the top court, whether tomorrow, most likely, because as per this list, it's almost clear that Supreme Court will hear, but a formal list will come in the evening, what we call it as cause list. So once the cause list is clear of the Supreme Court, it will be clear that the Supreme Court, this particular bench, as per the computer generated list, the two-judge bench will hear the case, or some other bench will hear the case. The picture will be clear in few hours from now.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Sambhav, with those details. Prime Minister Modi has participated in the Pongal celebration